Hi, my name's Bruce. If you didn't already know that, you're probably on the wrong channel, as this one's only intended to keep friends and family up to date with what I'm doing during my retirement here in Indonesia. I mentioned before that there was on-site catering for the workers. They like spicy food. Chilies. Chilies. Yeah, they're finished for the day, but yeah, it's Indonesian food, spicy food. Just as well I like spicy food or I'd be in trouble. It's Saturday morning, we have the steelwork prep crew hard at work, so 2 people on welders. 1 brother resting, and a bunch of people slinging rocks. Because we don't have the concrete mixer yet, we have the usual concrete mixing setup they have here. Another day has gone by and I swear that rice has grown. There's a guy over there in the distance. What he's doing, sorry, get him in there. He's got a thing like a very wide rake, and that basically has some prongs on it which stick down, and when he drags it across the rice paddy, it gives lines which you can then walk up to another end when he's done all in one direction and drag them back the other way, and that gives them a grid pattern to plant the rice at. That's how it works out so neat. And there's lots of frogs, of course. The process begins from putting in the bases of the posts. So just got to try and get it vertical there. And just poppy rocks it until he can get it to the vertical. So it looks good. On to the next one. So we've got elevator to the toilet, first up right there. Next one is for a maintenance hole, because we've got one of those drain snake things, but it's only about 10 or 12 metres long, so given this is going to be about 24 metres overall length, we need to have a couple of maintenance holes. So there's got to be one there and one actually in the kitchen underneath the bench, because that'll be on the line of this next to the toilet. Santa's being helpful. Chopping me rocks. Yeah. What are we doing with the chicken? I wonder, is this a sacrificial chicken? I don't know. It's good basaltic rock around here, so it's probably giving off radon. But yeah, good hard stuff. I have welding masks over in the shed, but apparently they prefer to use the dark glasses. Apparently they're down deep enough, or nearly deep enough, because they've started lowering bricks down from bricklaying. And foundation and steel crews are on break at the moment. The tractor's being washed up. Meanwhile, the weld crew are still working, going down the hole laying bricks. And you see now there's a lower set of orange lines along there. That is delimits the edge of the foundation. I didn't mention earlier that there's about 60 or so millimetres of rain since uploaded yesterday's video. So that's probably why there's pump down there was probably used to pump out the foundation trenches this morning. This is the mortar for the bricklaying and the well. They won't be using a lot of mortar down there because they're going to leave seepage holes through the bricks for the water to get in. Lots of activity. So you can see we've got the foundation beams going in at the front here. But I think what I need to do is just turn up about this time each day to show a status, otherwise this video is going to get far too long. But more bricks going down the well for bricklaying. Guess I might go on for a little while. But yeah, there's a fair crew here. That's sister-in-law doing a bit of rice plating. Yeah. There's people all over. So I gather that once this stage is through, the numbers will reduce a bit because it's going to be primarily Johnny and his offside are doing the bricklaying for the house walls. Well, that's what I was led to understand. Whether it's really going to be the case or not is another question. So lots more bricks for the well. Well, the fun part here is all very well getting the rocks to the front here, but then they've got to lift them across there to get to the far side. And the tricks, of course, are showing interest because they like to dance in wet concrete. So they're just hanging out until the people get out of the way, and then they go and dance on the concrete. I worked out yesterday from the area of the floor space in each of the rooms, excluding the front veranda, we're looking at about 10 squares in the old Australian terminology, where one square is 100 square feet. So we're looking at about 1,000 square feet for the house, which is small by Australian standards, but I think probably quite reasonable for here. And that's another one of my tools that has gone missing. It's an Aldi mallet. Sunday afternoon, it's a bit dull. It's about 4 o'clock, so these guys are getting close to wrapping up for the day. But Johnny's over there using the good old multi-tool to cut the PVC pipe. There'll be a room drain in the corner there, I think. So that far pipe there is wastewater, and this closer pipe is the sewer pipe. So the well is the brick to the top. A decent diameter. It'll go up for a bit yet. Probably go another 30 centimetres at least. And this is the end wall. Seems strange to have the sewer pipe outside the end wall, but Johnny knows what he's doing. Hatchet is being used for bash rocks. So there's 3 reinforcement cages, there'll be a few more yet. And the chickens had to leave the signature in the wet concrete. Now that they've bricked it all the way up to the top, it means it's nice and solid, so it's not going to cave in on them, so now they're going deeper. Hence the extra pile of spoil here. This is probably what was done with ours at our house, because when that was emptied out to do a bit of work at one stage, it went down about 8 metres, and then it narrowed down to a narrower width, and and went down further. So that's probably how they got to it, doing the same thing. Monday afternoon check-in. I've loaded up as we struck the gravel out the front and brought it to here. Busy preparing form work. Brother-in-law supervising as he does. Tends to spend a lot of time resting. Let's see what they're doing today. So it looks like we're not doing the deep foundation for the end of the veranda here. So it's basically using the existing concrete. Got the wastewater drain pipe put in over the other side, which he said earlier is levelling. I hope he's not levelling. I hope we still have the required fall from west to east. So we appear to have most of the foundation lines in. So the same at this end. We're not going deep with the foundations for these walls, which is, yeah, don't know that I'm overly impressed with that. But as I say, I sure hope that pipe isn't level. Ah, I see what's happening. They're cutting through the wall over there, and that particular wastewater pipe is going to be at the high end, that end, draining down to exit here. That's okay. And every time I look at that rice at the end here, I swear it's grown more. Loaded another load of gravel up at the front. And save the guys using a hand cart to get it here. So there's 5 of those there currently, and there's another one being fabricated at the moment. There's quite a few smaller ones to be fabricated by the look of those, and a number of the bigger ones to be done. So yeah, there's plenty of welding to go. It's mid-afternoon on Tuesday, and it's a bit wet. We've had 85mm of rain today. So I'm going to go and check on the genset to make sure it's not in a error state, because it'll probably have a start overnight, given that the solar input's been a bit dull today. Well, that's in a good state. What you didn't see was the big lizard that ran across the face of that. I wonder if lizards are the mechanism. It's got something to do with its issues. Lizards and corrosion. Oh goody. I was down here this morning, and Santa said they were down about 5 metres going for chicks. I was kind of expecting more than that. I'll have to check with Jubaedah and see what she has had in way of report. But currently boring more holes for tying the reinforcement beam into the existing concrete.
Order 10 halaman berapa meter? 10 meter, 5 meter, 10 target kurang 7. Yeah.
I just pointed out to Johnny the lack of a drain for the hand basin in the bathroom and a floor drain for the kitchen. So he's got 2 extra drains to put in. Anybody would think that chook was acting as those ducklings' mum. It's the next afternoon, and I'm convinced that Mama Chook has got foster babies. So that's going to be interesting when they decide they want to go swimming. Lots of formwork being constructed, lots of formwork already constructed, and the steelwork's going into place. So we're on the foundations pounding stage by the look of it. Pound the rocks into the mud. Lots and lots of steel work's been laid out this morning. Obviously a little bit to go here. yesterday we passed 4 metres of rain for the year. So it's a wet old place in Indonesia. Okay, so he's trying to figure out how to do his drainage there. So that'll go in and go across the room. Don't know what he's going to do for the kitchen. Maybe put a tea in that centre one of the three over there. Lots and lots of dragonflies. Hopefully I'll deal with some of the mosquitoes. That's going to be a hard job, reducing the big rocks to smaller rocks. Johnny asked me if I had a 50 metre extension cord. The answer is no. I have this black one I cobbled together yesterday. An outdoor socket. This orange one that I cobbled together some time ago and I've been using over in the shed for my purposes. Then there's the caravan extension cord, and then there's my original 25 metre orange cable. So if that's not enough, got to bring down the little gen set and set it up over there. I sort of felt a bit warm standing out there in the sun, but the feels like, according to my weather station, it's a mere 39.1 degrees. So quite reasonable for out here. Oh, it's Thursday afternoon. It was warm just walking down here to the rice factory. I thought I'd check. It feels like it's 42.4, so that's more normal. So the fact that the spoil pile here is still growing indicates they're still going down, and they've got a use for that. That's getting packed in as fill. So get a base of rocks, and then this clay that goes pretty hard gets powdered on top. I've got some verticals up for the columns for the walls. A lot more of those yet. And the guys are welding the reinforcement cages together. So that's the solution for the extra outlets needed. That's good. And we have all the horizontal ground level ring beam reinforcement cages laid out. So we need a few more verticals, and then there'll be another lot around the tops of the walls. So there's a lot more to go yet. So I'm not sure what this pile of stuff is for out the front of Karana's house. Could be that this is fill for the foundation. Extensive catering continues. Takes a lot of rice to feed these guys. It's Friday morning, about 25 past 10. Now tell me that rice doesn't look much thicker than it did at the start of this video. Things grow well in the tropics. The guys are on break at the moment, having a meal. So by the look of this, the fact that this is still wet, they're still digging deeper, which is good. On that video clip earlier that Azra took for me, I heard the word delapan, which means 8. So I don't know whether they were joking about going down to 8 metres or not, but that would be about right as far as I would be concerned. That's what I'd hope for. You can see they've got started to do the formwork up around the reinforcement cages. So might be long before we start getting concrete in those, I guess. So yeah, I use that as fill, and I've also got some of that rock and soil from out the front already in here as fill. That's an interesting arrangement. That's slabs of wood, okay, so rough track for a real wheelbarrow. But yeah, so won't be long before we see concrete, and it'll come up presumably to near the tops of those forms, so that the reinforcement cages are submerged. So there's a fair bit of fill to go in yet before they bring it up to the level where they put a concrete floor in. But the plumbing's looking good. Don't quite know why they bent those two down, but they'll get bent back up again. For the vertical posts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more verticals required at the corner post level, and there'll also be posts either side of the doorway, I imagine, and side windows and over windows and under windows, so there's a lot more metal cages yet to be put into service, which is why they're still fabricating them up there, and why there's still lots of steel rod around. So yeah, time to go and add this on to the end of what I've got and do an upload.